What's up, rockstars? Boom! Hey, hey, hey! So today's Catholic saint of the day is Saint John Vianney. He's a founder and a priest. Today we meet a builder of the church, a founder whose vision still bears fruit today. John Baptiste Marie Vianney, known as John in English, was born May 8th, 1786 in Dardilly, France, and was baptized the same day. He was the fourth of 6 children born to Matthew and Marie Vianney. John was raised in a Catholic home, and the family often helped the poor and housed Saint Benedict Joseph Labre when he made his pilgrimage to Rome. In 1790, when the anti-clerical terror phase of the French Revolution forced priests to work in secrecy or to face execution, young Vianney believed the priests were heroes. He continued to believe in bravery of the priests and received his first communion catechism instructions in private by 2 nuns who lost their convents in the Revolution. At 13 years old, John made his first communion and prepared for his confirmation in secrecy. When he was 20 years old, John was allowed to leave the family farm to learn at a Presbytery school in Écully. I think that's how you pronounce that. Where he learned math, history, geography, and Latin. As his education had been disrupted by the French Revolution, he struggled to keep his studies, particularly with Latin, but worked hard to learn. In 1802, the Catholic Church was reestablished in France, and religious freedom and peace spread throughout the country. Unfortunately, in 1809, John was drafted into Napoleon Bonaparte's armies. He had been studying as an ecclesiastical student, which was protected title and would normally have exempted him from military services, but Napoleon had withdrawn the exemption in some dioceses as he required more soldiers. 2 days into his service, John fell ill and required hospitalization. As his troop continued, he stopped at a church where he prayed. There he met a young man who volunteered to return him to his group, but instead led him deep into the mountains where military deserters met. John lived with them for 1 year and 2 months. He'd used the name Jerome Vincent and opened a school for the nearby village of Les Nozes children. John remained in Les Nozes and hid whenever gendarmes came in search of deserters until 1810, when the deserters were granted amnesty. Now free, John returned to Écully and resumed his ecclesiastic studies. He attended a minor seminary, Abbey Bali, in 1812 and was eventually ordained a deacon in June of 1815. He joined his heroes as a priest August 12, 1815, in the Couvent des Mimes in Grenoble. His first Mass was celebrated the next day, and he was appointed assistant to Bali in Écully. 3 years later, when Bali passed away, Father John Vianney was appointed parish priest of the Ars parish. With the help from Catherine Lasagne, I think that's how you pronounce that, and Benedict Lerdet La Providence, a home for girls was established in Ars. When he began his priestly duties, Father Vianney realized many were either ignorant or indifferent to religion because of the French Revolution. Many danced and drank on Sundays or worked in their fields. Father Vianney spent much of his time in confession and often delivered homilies against blasphemy and dancing. Finally, if parishioners did not give up dancing, he refused them absolution. Oh boy. He spent 11 to 12 hours each day working to reconcile people with God, which means he spent a lot of time in that confessional. In the summer months, he often worked 16 hours and refused to retire. His fame spread until people began to travel to him in 1827. Within 30 years, it is said he received up to 20,000 pilgrimages each year. He was deeply devoted to St. Philomena and erected a chapel and a shrine in her honor. When he later became deathly ill, but miraculously recovered, he attributed his health to St. Philomena's intercession. By 1853, Father Vianney had attempted to run away from Ars 4 times, each attempt with the intention of becoming a monk, but decided after the final time that it was not to be. 6 years later, he passed away and left behind a legacy of faith that was viewed as the champion of the poor. On October 3rd, 1873, Pope Pius IX proclaimed Father Vianney as venerable, and on January 8th, 1905, Pope Pius X beatified him. St. John Vianney was canonized on May 31st, 1925. His feast day was declared August 9th, but it was changed twice before it fell on August 4th, today. St. John Vianney would often say, "Private prayer is like straw scattered here and there. If you set it on fire, it makes a lot of flames." And the prayer of St. John Vianney: "I love you, oh my God, and my only desire is to love you until my last breath. I love you, oh my infinite lovable God, and I would rather die loving you than live without loving you. I love you, Lord, and the only grace I ask is to love you eternally. My God, if my tongue cannot say in every moment that I love you, I want my heart to repeat it as often as I draw a breath." It's a great prayer. St. John Vianney, pray for us. Hope you got something from us. Another great saint. One of the things that I was reading, something else about earlier today about St. John Vianney, is that he was actually, when it said that he was trying to leave that parish that in Ars, it would actually, the parishioners, all the ones that were super excited that it was there and very devoted to his ministry, would actually go and drag him back and like, "You're not going anywhere." So I thought that was a great part of, like, even though he felt miserable and it was just didn't think he was doing any good, there were a group of people that he was impacting and touching every single day, not only in that region, but of course then it grew as his popularity grew, but just the people there were like, "You're not going anywhere," and they dragged him back several times, and finally he just gave up. So I continue to pray for you and your families and your loved ones for abundant blessings every day. The key is you are receiving amazing blessings every day. The key is just you have to recognize them. Look for them. They are there. Trust me, they are there. So I pray that you will have the openness and the insight to be able to actually see the blessings that are upon you, and pray for more of them. You can never have enough of them. So have an amazing week. Come back tomorrow for another Saint of the Day, and share that amazing smile with the world, because it just might make somebody's day.